sit down, please. Hey, for those of you guys that are standing up, there's a whole bunch of chairs over here in this whole row over here. You're sure welcome to them if you'd like to sit. Welcome, everybody. Another beautiful day in the Ruby Valley. This is the kind of weather we hope for when we do an outside graduation, and hopefully we can have a good non-windy time here and get this thing done. I'd like to welcome you all, and I'm glad you're here. We get to do this because we live in the greatest nation in the world, and we get to have a weekend where we have Memorial Day and Sheridan's graduation all at the same time yearly, and that's a good thing. This particular class has gone through a lot of trials and tribulations to get here. We started out the year with football and volleyball, maybe, kind of made it through that. School, maybe, kind of made it through that. We shut down for a week in September. That was because we needed to go hunting, but we couldn't staff the place, so we shut her down there. And then we've had a couple of rocky bumps and bounces through January, and then since January we've pretty much been in school, and so it's been a weird year. However, here we are graduating another class of Sheridan graduates. And so with that, we'll get the thing started. I would like to welcome Luke Devorak to the stage for his salutatorian address. Find it?
Yeah. All right, good. Okay, gonna test this thing. Okay, so, I didn't write down the introduction really because I assumed I would just do that. You all know me, most of you, I think. So, I'm supposed to give a speech now, and we'll see how it goes. All right. A great ultramarathon runner once said that running an ultra requires a combination of extreme self-confidence and intense humility. At first, I thought these two seemingly opposing traits to be nearly impossible to exercise in unison, but then I realized to succeed at life, you need both of these as well. You need to be confident enough that you can do what you dream if you put all of your effort forth and don't cease working towards that goal. But at the same time, you need to be humble enough to realize that it's going to take all of your dedication and that others have the same potential that you do. Nobody executes these two traits perfectly. Everyone slips up over and over again in their own lives. Me personally, I have made the same mistake countless times, sometimes, before learning a different way to go about things. But without the mistakes, we would never learn some of our most valuable lessons, and we would never improve at how to handle things either. Thankfully, though, not every circumstance in life has a right choice and a wrong one, or several wrong ones. Many experiences are just for pleasure, and that's a great thing. These instances leave behind so many happy memories of days gone by, like going to first camp as an elementary student, working on letter books in kindergarten, participating in Fun Day, and loads more great times. And through it all, I have had the pleasure of being in the company of my favorite class. Most of these kids I've known for many years, some of them since the very beginning of my school career, and they are almost never mean or belittling to each other. I know that all of them have phenomenal potential and believe that each and every one of them will reach that. Some of them have already taken a lot of the steps to get where they are today, and that is very impressive. Our preparation for the future would be virtually non-existent without our years of education from many great teachers. I would like to thank all of those who have helped me get to where I am today many times over, because it takes an extremely high level of care for someone else to invest so much time and energy into someone else's success, with little benefits to yourself. However, I know they would all disagree with that one part, saying that the teaching satisfaction alone is one of the largest benefits that comes, and I'm sure they are correct. So in what you take away from this speech, do not by any means be afraid of making mistakes. I'm not telling you to be reckless, nor am I advising that you neglect thinking before acting. But make sure to not let worry about outcomes prevent you from living life and experiencing all the things we humans are meant to experience. For those of you in years behind me, I would encourage you not to be in too big of a rush to graduate, because there are many fabulous things about this school community that you will only realize when you eventually leave. And as you keep moving along in your journey, be sure to remember that the roller coaster of life has no bar for protection, so you need to hang on tight. But never let that stop you from enjoying the thrill of the ride. Thank you. Next one's on top.
Oh, Lou. I forgot to lay the ground rules before we started. You know, this is a once in a lifetime for these guys, so, you know, we're gonna stop, and anybody wants to take pictures and stuff, we're gonna wait until you're done, so don't feel rushed to get up here to get your pictures. All right, at this time, I'd like to introduce our valedictorian for her valedictorian address, Miss Mackenzie Fable.
The following presentation is available courtesy of 13 years at Sheridan School District. Any ideas or themes are not subject to further explanation. I talk fast, so open ears are encouraged but not required. Any children left unattended will be confiscated and sold to Mr. Broughton for yet another slave auction. This speech was made possible by Red Bull, puberty, and viewers like you. Thank you. Now, I'm sure you can expect a young individual like myself to give a speech about following your dreams and reaching for the stars, but let's be real. We all know Mr. Igneris is going to take care of that after he talks about how much we've grown since sophomore biology. I'll be quick because I know how badly Luke wants to see the square hat spin. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't looking forward to an additional 4-year education during which I'll be in the awkward stages between teenager and adult. All while living off of ramen and coffee. As I like to say, we're adults when you need us to be, and children when you want us to be. Just this week, I paid off my credit card bill right before my mom educated me on how expensive laundry is, let alone for yourself and a family. Most effective form of birth control I've ever seen. How could I raise a child when I'm not even sure what the correct temperature for certain loads of laundry is? I'll have to ask Hartson, because Callan's onesies are pristine. These last 4 years, all of us had made sacrifices in the name of positive change and growth. Colby's eyebrows were sacrificed to a furnace. I'm not really sure what positive change he was aiming for. I personally sacrificed countless hours of sleep for my grades. This last month, I've even developed a Red Bull habit, but I'll never be as desperate for caffeine as Mr. Igneris was when he poked holes in a piece of semi-hard plastic for a coffee filter for weeks. Don't ask me why he didn't just buy a new filter. Dimitri Abbott sacrificed the end of his typical high school experience to serve our country. He's currently enlisted in the U.S. Navy and is stationed in Pensacola, Florida. Colby Caldwell will also be serving our country in the U.S. Army. Let's give them a round of applause for their service. As you're all well aware by now, we're living through a pandemic. We'll even be in the history books as the generation that believes a vaccine made for a respiratory illness can cause a woman's reproductive organs to stop working. Now, I've had COVID, as I'm sure most of you have too, and it wasn't terrible. I understand that we needed to protect the at-risk population with quarantines and mask mandates, but we got robbed. We had it better than most schools in the nation, but we've been expected to teach ourselves calculus, chemistry, physics, and more. If Mrs. Gasper couldn't teach me how to find the volume of a vase without a 3-hour YouTube video, how do you expect me to do it myself? Well, we were bitter for a few months about the traditions that we've been looking forward to for years. We've grown not to expect anything. Every sporting event or FFA trip, we were waiting for the early morning call that we would not be getting on the bus or walking through the front doors. When was the last time something like this happened? World War II? The class of 21 has learned to adapt in a way that older generations will never understand. We juggled our mental health, self-taught schoolwork, physical health, and jobs all at the same time. I applaud students like Rachel for learning to thrive in an environment like that because I was not one of them. While we're a little upset about the experience, we understand that life goes on and there was no alternative. We didn't need to risk lives just so we could have an athletic event with full capacity. We understood what was going on in the world was bigger than us. We took an abysmal situation and found the bright side of things. Moving on from the obligatory mention of COVID. When teenagers move out of their house at the age of 18, around 90% of the time they'll spend around their parents is over. On average, kids visit their parents for 10 days out of a year. This statistic is slightly skewed in a small-town community like this, but you see my point. We're about to grow into our own people, find what we love, what we hate, and our natural bedtimes. Miss Schmidt gets up at 4 a.m. and still manages to do happy dances during every class, so I would consult her on how to build a proper sleep routine. Our teachers, families, and friends have poured their energy into us so that we'll have the best opportunities to be successful. You can almost see Coleman vibrating when he has too much caffeine, so he may need less energy poured into him than the rest of us. Parker Mantell once said, "Doubt, as has been observed, kills more dreams than failure ever will. Yet, if doubt were a disease, its cure would be confidence." Now, I heard this quote my sophomore year, and I take it everywhere I go. If I'm ever unsure or anxious, I just think about what the worst thing that could happen is, and how it isn't actually that bad. Confidence, even if it's false, can change your perspective and your outcomes. A lot of students in the class of 21 overcame doubt, not only from themselves, but their peers and family. None of us ever believed that Jessica could flip Hartson and his desk at the ripe age of 14, but here we are.
It happened.
In closing, I would like you to take away a few key points. Hitler didn't kill himself, money's just a concept, the government is always listening, and if you're scared to do something, breathe deeply and think about it again. That's what I do when I'm at the top of a ski run I probably shouldn't be on. Class of 2021, take the skills we've taught each other over the years and thrive. School is not about the lessons your teachers give, but the ones your peers teach. Thank you.
Miss Fable. Introduce your guest speaker.
Sure. I'd like to introduce our guest speaker, our science teacher and track coach, Sean Regneris.
Hi, Mr. Reg.
I'd like to start by saying thanks and congratulations. First, thanks for asking me to speak today, and congratulations on your graduation. It's been a pleasure to get to know you over the last 6 years, and it's both satisfying and a little sad to see you graduate today. Satisfying because I know how far you've come, how much you've learned and grown as people since I first met you as awkward little 7th graders 6 years ago. And it's a little sad because after having spent the last 6 years together, today will be the last day I will see some of you. So I'm going to give you one last assignment on behalf of myself and the rest of the staff. When you're in town, occasionally stop by and say hi to us. Let us know how you're doing, because we still care. When asked to speak at your graduation, I was a little flattered, but then when I started to think about what I was actually going to say, I was a little confused. What can I possibly say in the next 5 minutes that I haven't said in the last 5 years? If you don't already know that the mitochondria is the powerhouse of the cell, you never will. So, I have to trust that you've been listening for the last 4 years, not just to myself, but to the rest of your teachers, your parents, and your peers. And I think you have. In fact, I know you have. Well, one of my favorite parts of the end of the year is the Academic Awards Assembly, when Ms. Bartoletti reads through the tens of thousands of dollars of scholarships that you've earned and lists your accomplishments both in the classroom and in extracurricular activities, and talks about the plans that you've made for the future. I also enjoy listening to your final portfolio presentations and watching you calmly and comfortably stand up and talk for 20 minutes about what you've learned during the last few years. And it's obvious you've been doing a lot more than listening. You've been working hard and you've earned this. It's a big world and you're ready to go out and explore it. I'm proud of all that you've done and I'm proud of where you're going. This year we're sending kids far and wide, from Florida to Havre, Butte to Bozeman, and wherever the Army descends to send Colby. But I do have a few more things to say. Today you're graduating, and you're probably thinking of graduation as a completion of high school. But I prefer the other word for this ceremony. It's your commencement. And the definition of a commencement is the beginning of starting something. And that starting of something is the rest of your life. Your lives as an adult, which of course brings me to physics. Newton's first law, an object in motion tends to stay in motion, and an object at rest tends to stay at rest. You've been building up a lot of momentum these last few years, and now is the time, not the time to rest. Now is the time to keep moving. Even if you're not sure the direction you're heading in is the right one. It's a lot easier to change direction when you're still moving. In fact, the steering wheel is pretty useless unless you're actually moving. One of the best things about adulthood that I wish I understood when I was graduating is that the big decisions in life are really the result of many small decisions. Over the next 10 years, you guys have a lot of decisions in front of you. Most of you will decide on a career, maybe buy a house, choose a partner, and right now none of you can predict what those choices will be. In fact, some of you might actually be avoiding even thinking about those choices. That's okay. The weight of those choices, their unpredictability, and the fact that they seem so far away may be a little overwhelming. But don't let the fear or the unknown keep you from losing your momentum. It might seem like you can't do anything about something that's years away, so why worry about it now? And in a sense, that's correct. You can only do what is right in front of you, but do it well. Keep moving. The only way to live your best life is to live your best life today as well as you can. Your actions and decisions today determine the choices that will be available to you tomorrow. Doing whatever job you have today to the best of your ability, even if it's just bussing tables at Bob's Pizza, will mean you will still have a job tomorrow. And next year you might have a better job. Putting just $10 in the bank today and every day for the next 5 years is a down payment on a house. Making small decisions well today is how we get to make important decisions tomorrow. The second thing I wish I understood about being an adult is that the true definition of being an adult is taking full responsibility for the fact that your life is your own making. How satisfied you are with your life 30 years from now will be the result of 1,000 small and a few large decisions that you make between now and then. There are external circumstances that you will all deal with, things outside of your control, the actions of other people, the economy, the job market, unavoidable health problems, things you can't possibly predict. And you will fail. Not everything you try will be a success. And it will be tempting to blame those failures on those outside circumstances, because then those failures are not your fault. And I'm going to encourage you to own your own failures. Not to let them define you, but to accept as much responsibility for them as you possibly can. Remember that outside circumstances are impossible to predict and they're outside of your control. If you blame your failures on outside circumstances, then you are powerless to learn from them. You're powerless to move on from them, and you're powerless to change them. You can only change and improve the parts of your life that you take responsibility for. So don't feel fear failure. Don't let the fear of failure, the unknown, keep you from moving. The only real failure is the failure to act, the failure to keep moving. That brings me to my last point, and because it's the most important, I'm going to keep it short so that you can remember it. While your career is important and where you choose to live is important, what is really important and what will truly define who you are as a person is your relationship with other people. Treat everyone well, whether you like them or not, whether you agree with them or not, whether they look like you or not. We train the people around us how they should treat us by the way we treat them. So whenever it is possible, be kind, and it is always possible to be kind. So, you're ready and well prepared to go out into the world. Keep moving, don't lose momentum that you have built, and be nice about it. Congratulations. Next, we'd like to have Miss Bartoletti come up and talk about scholarships and awards.
You can see how teachers like Mr. Regneris makes a school counselor job much easier. So it's my honor and privilege today to recognize our seniors. And I'd also like to recognize any veterans in the crowd since it's Memorial Day, and have them stand up if you would please, so we can recognize you. Thank you, and as Mackenzie so well pointed out, you know that two of our own, Dimitri Abbott in the Navy, and also Colby Caldwell going into the Army, so we are honored. So first of all, academic awards. The 110% award is named after Raymond Sylvie, who died as a young man. He was a Sheridan Panther and always gave 110%. And that goes to Mackenzie Fable, if you'd stand and be recognized. Mackenzie also is the recipient of the Math Award, taught by Miss Gasper for 4 years, Mackenzie. So go ahead and keep standing. And also the FFA Citizenship Award. Congratulations, Mackenzie. Thank you. We do have trophies and plaques for all of these awards that were given out at a previous assembly. Elizabeth Hamilton, please stand and be recognized. Elizabeth is going on to Carroll College, and she was awarded the Government Award and the Drama Award. Congratulations. Coleman Gilman, please stand. Coleman Gilman is our outstanding ag student. Scholarships. Some of you may have known Kenny Steiner, again, one of our own beloved people who died tragically in a motorcycle accident. So we have the Ken Steiner Memorial Scholarship given for $2,000 to Brandon Bauer. Colby Caldwell, United States Army. Dreana Clark will be attending the Montana Technological University, and she receives the Horatio Alger for $15,000, the Montana University Healthcare Scholarship for $6,000, Montana Tech Scholarship for $1,000, the Ron Wagner Memorial Credit Union for $1,000, the Rotary for $800, the Sheridan Scholarship Foundation for $500, the Bill Babcock Memorial for $500, the Vera Schultz for $500, and the Masonic Lodge for $250. Congratulations, Dreana. And I have to tell you, at the beginning of scholarships, Dreana is the one who said to me, I hope I get something. Good job, Dreana. Luke Devorak, please stand. Luke Devorak, one of our best and brightest, receives the Montana System Honor Scholarship, which is full tuition for 4 years. The Montana STEM, Science, Technology, Engineering, Math Scholarship for $6,000. Congratulations, Luke. Mackenzie Fable is attending University of Southern Florida in pursuit of a criminology degree. And she received the Presidential Scholarship for $48,000, the Ruby Valley Alumni Scholarship for $1,000, the FFA Ruby Valley Memorial Fund for $550, the Craig Woodson Memorial, $500, the Talc Scholarship for $500, and the Sheridan Scholarship Foundation for $500. Congratulations. Coleman Gilman. The Montana State University of Northern will receive Coleman, and he received a $2,500 renewable scholarship from Northern. The Craig Woodson Memorial, $500. The Raymond Sylvie, which is voted on by the class as far as a student who is willing to support and give to others, that's for $500. The Sheridan Scholarship for $500. FFA Alumni, $600, and the FFA Memorial for $200. Congratulations. Elizabeth Hamilton will be attending Carroll College, and she receives the Presidential Award for $84,000 over 4 years. The Montana Advantage Award, $8,485. The Horatio Alger, up to $10,000. The Madison County Task Force, $500. And the Three Rivers Banner Scholarship for $500. Congratulations. Another Carroll College saint is Jessica Massart. She also received the Carroll College Trustee Scholarship for $80,000 over her time at Carroll. And she also wrote an essay, which was titled Not for School, but for Life. And she is awarded $10,000. The Advantage Award for $8,485. The Greg Day, another student of ours, Greg Day Memorial Scholarship for $1,000. The Woodson for $500. FFA Alumni, $500. And the FFA Memorial for $200. Congratulations. Desiree Tipton is attending the Pima Medical Institute to pursue her lifelong dream of becoming a vet tech assistant. And she also, like Brandon, received the first Kenny Steiner Memorial Scholarship for $2,000, Rotary for $800, the Sheridan Scholarship Foundation for $500, and the Odd Fellows for $300. Congratulations. Hartson Van Houten will be attending the University of Providence in Great Falls. And he received $13,000 a year renewable from the University of Providence and the McDonald Athletic Scholarship for $5,000. Congratulations, Hartson. I'd also like just to say a word. Our own children did not go to college right away. And so the whole purpose, again, of what you're moving toward is steps to your great dreams, whatever you're doing. So congratulations, seniors.
Thank you, Ms. Bartoletti. At this time, the seniors shall present flowers to those that are meaningful to them. Guess we'll get after what we came here for, right, boys and girls? All right. Graduates, please rise. The first graduate, Brandon Mitchell Bauer.
Yeah, Brandon.
Go on down the line. Oh, yes. Go on down the line. Keep going. Congratulations. Good job, Brandon. I was talking to Mr. Caldwell the other day, and he said, this is something I didn't even think was possible a few years ago. Colby Andrew Caldwell. I'll lose that. Don't jump off the And Colby jumps off the end and breaks his ankle, and the recruiter comes and kicks me. Trayana Rose Clark. Good job, Trayana. Let's change that over. Keep walking down and shaking. Congratulations, Get this right, yeah. Jenna Rochelle Driscoll. Luke James Devorak.
Thank you.
Mackenzie Christine Fable. Coleman Harley Gilman. Elizabeth Dawn Hamilton. Haley Hope Jordan. Jessica May Massart. Rachel Lynn Reiner. Desiree Marie Tipton.
Good job, Desiree.
Hartson James Lee Van Houten.
I'm not jumping off the stage. Yeah. Good job, man. Congratulations. 50. Congratulations. Do a flip. No. I made it! Let's go! Oh no, okay. Oh, I don't care. Fine.
Are you ready, Hartson?
I guess so.
Okay. Now, by the powers vested in me by the state of Montana and by the Board of Trustees of Sheridan School District Number 5, I present to you the class of 2021. There they go!
I made it on the stage for you.
After they go, there'll be a recessional down over here. So, with that,